my baby, name of my baby. Okay, and this is my apa itu? Okay, I'm happy to have you, Mr. Charles, from London. Okay, okay. And I'm not standing alone here. There are Miss I. Can you join with me, Miss I? Okay. Today we want to sharing about artificial intelligence. So yeah, this is for you.
Oh yeah? Okay, I am Ai. I am one of the company who partner with Aimee and what else? Billion.
2 billion.
2 billion rupiah.
2 billion rupiah.
Yeah.
Equal.
In UK I don't know. In pound sterling yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Pramuel know it about 2 billion equal pound sterling. So we got this funding and this product is Aimee and want to support government yeah in 2045 Indonesia in Indonesia 2045 to have so many startup from young generation. So
we are looking for 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000
multi-talent from digital startup. Okay, so please welcome Mr. Charles on stage. Give applause, guys. Yes,
you are right.
Okay, have a seat.
Please.
Have a seat, please. Okay. Oh wait. Oh, okay. Let me the center of place over here. So this is our student from University of Raharja. Yeah. Nice to meet you and thank you for joining us. Okay. The first question, Mama.
The first question is, what is your name? Of course. You can introduce yourself.
Sure. Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Charles Wood.
Charles
I'm
Wood.
the director of international at a company called Century Tech.
Century. Okay, Century Tech.
Right now we are live streaming in YouTube and also Instagram.
Yeah.
And also Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom
With
meeting.
so many students from University of Raharja from that laptop.
So let's say hi, guys.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So first of all, let me share about what are we working on. Okay. So Aimee is a startup that have so many. For now, we have 18 startup that have been incubating in our Alphabet incubator. Yeah, and our partners is Alphabet Incubator Indonesia. The company is AII. Okay.
And I am a director from AII.
Okay. Okay. So I think the Century can become one of partner of Aimee. Okay.
Maybe you can tell us about your company too.
Okay. Okay. There's a slide.
So we are an 8-year-old company that was founded by a lady called Priya Lakhani in 2013. And the whole purpose of our company, if I could, can I just, thank you. The whole purpose of our company, is to try and personalize the way we deliver learning to students. We know that students learn in different ways, at different speeds, they have different memory functions, they prefer different types of media. And so what we believe is that AI and machine learning can be used to personalize and deliver content in different ways for different students' needs. We think that this empowers our teachers, so we're giving teachers better data so that they can inform the way in which they differentiate for their children. We think that we can show progress and impact on learning at a much greater scale. And we also think that in my country, in the UK, this will help us lower the disadvantage gap. Often in the UK, if you are from a poorer background, you end up getting a worse education. So we think technology has the power to level up this playing field in our country.
Wow, very great. Also,
I think that is same in Indonesia too, like that. When we are from pure family, so we cannot go out.
okay.
And
Then,
do you also have an issue here with access to hardware and infrastructure like the internet?
Some place like that. So the Aimee tool can help. We call it Indonesia Timur. Yeah. In that place, they cannot to access internet. Too difficult to access internet.
okay, okay.
Maybe Prof.
Prof. Want
have
to
to
share?
ask question.
Okay, so
Would you like me to tell you about artificial intelligence?
okay, yes. Okay, the artificial intelligence is want to make startup matching. Okay, startup matching. So there are so many startup and they need to funding, and then we want to give her some investor and some option or apa ya, Pak?
To have decision.
Okay,
Yeah,
to have a decision. Okay.
Yeah, well, I've got quite a nice slide here, hopefully, which sums it up quite well. We as humans, we learn, right? We absorb information, whether it's from your teachers, your parents, the internet, a textbook, but we learn from our experience all around us. Now, traditionally, computers or machines have been slightly different, right? They learn from instructions. We design computers and we tell computers what to do. But what artificial intelligence is doing is actually teaching computers and machines to learn from experience. Now, we don't call it experience, though. Do you know what we call it?
Yeah.
Data, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
computers learn huge amounts of data.
From activity, right?
Yeah. They can learn a lot of data, right? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So we now work with over 1 million students in the world, in 53 countries. So even just during this talk, 1 million questions will be answered on our platform. That's creating millions and millions of pieces of data that our machine can learn from in order to work out how to personalize the next steps.
Okay.
Okay, you have next slide. Maybe we can.
Sure.
So, I mean, how many of you here use artificial intelligence? Put your hand up. Does anyone use AI?
Ya, ada yang pernah pakai
AI, AI, pakai AI.
Do you use AI?
Yes.
Yeah?
Google AI. Signing.
Signing?
Okay.
What's that?
Signing is for face recognition to
Ah,
attend, for attending. Attendance.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I think you probably all use AI in some form because AI is everywhere. If you use Netflix or Spotify,
YouTube
YouTube.
right now, right?
Yeah.
Right now, yeah. If you go on your YouTube account, you get recommendations for you. That's based on AI and all the data that they've collected. But it's in security, as you mentioned, facial recognition. It's in the medical world. And of course, it's now in food and drink. So they use it to tailor and personalize the ingredients. So AI is everywhere. It's not a new concept.
Okay.
From this slide, which one, what do you think, which one is the most AI?
The most advanced AI.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, DeepMind is probably the leader in terms of the
Oh,
application
yeah,
of AI.
DeepMind.
Yeah,
DeepMind.
came out of Google. A lot of Google engineers went to work on DeepMind, and DeepMind have produced all sorts of machine learning that can help detect certain things or learn about certain things. So, in my experience, that's the most advanced today.
DeepMind, okay. Actually, for DeepMind, I just first, DeepMind. I just know this from media and then maybe some food and drink.
So I agree with Mr. Charles, yeah, that we in the world now is experiencing AI everywhere. Yeah. For example, if you do Siri, yeah, hello Siri, you're already doing the AI. And if you are doing Google searching, the AI is working to try to detect what is your interest and so on. Yeah, like all these things, YouTube and Netflix all are just AI. Yeah. So we as a developing country is actually catching up the importance of artificial intelligence, and we are concentrating on the usage of AI in education, just like we do. Yeah, how to make the education become more interesting. Yeah, the artificial intelligence will work on it. We always like to use the term gamification. Yeah, it's like the experience of playing games, but actually you are educating yourself, or maybe you're working, but everything is just like game. Yeah, making yourself immersed in it. Yeah, and in that part, artificial intelligence can play a big part. Yeah? So I would like to know more about your product and how the artificial intelligence is making us more experiencing. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you mentioned gamification because gamification has become very popular in educational applications. Now, gamification relies upon something known as extrinsic reward systems. So that rewards you in an extrinsic manner for completing something, for progressing, for getting the correct answer. But extrinsic rewards are not sustainable because your brain learns when you get the reward, and the reward becomes less and less and less the more you get the reward. Your dopamine levels decrease. And so actually, we believe at Century that intrinsic motivational forces, if possible, are much more sustainable because they create lifelong learners who understand how learning something and then being able to repeat that or explain that to a peer or a parent is a much more sustainable way of learning. So actually on Century, we don't have any gamification. Most of our motivational forces are focused on intrinsic, and that's come from neuroscience research that we've looked into. The other thing is that as an education company, we're never going to be able to build a game as good as Fortnite or as good as the other games which children like to play these days. So our product is very much focused on the intrinsic motivation, but it's very hard to do because, as you've alluded to, engagement levels are really hard to compete with when you've got YouTube and Fortnite and other things that are keeping children occupied these days. So yeah, this is what we've done. We've combined AI with our understanding of neuroscience and positioned ourselves somewhere in the middle. So we know a lot about the brain now. We know the difference between our short-term working memory and our long-term memory. We know that everyone has a slightly different memory. You might be able to remember things very easily. I have a terrible memory. I need to repeat it over and over again before it sticks into my long-term memory. That takes time, it takes repetition, and everyone has different needs. So we can build technology around that to resurface concepts and practice concepts at different intervals for different students' needs.
Very great.
Okay, maybe there are some questions from Zoom or from YouTube.
Okay.
Lucas, can you check it?
Is there any question?
So one more thing I'm curious also is your application also use blockchain? Yeah. I have a few friends who is from UK as well, and we actually have MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with them to develop blockchain. Actually, I met them during Gess 2019. That means it's 3 years ago. Yeah. So I know that UK is developing a lot of blockchain-based platform. Yeah. I'm also interested in knowing that whether your company, Century, is also have blockchain underlying things in there, or maybe under development, or it's not in your area or things like that? Thanks.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Blockchain's really interesting. We looked at blockchain technology in 2020 when we were developing a product that we call Story. A Story is an online digital portfolio for students to submit their work, submit their extracurricular activities, and really to change the understanding of soft skills versus core skills. If you do a good poetry recital, or if you play a musical instrument, where do you submit that? We wanted to create this application called Story that could be verified on the blockchain by your teachers, your music teachers, or whoever. So we looked at blockchain really closely, but the problem that we had with it is that the amount of energy required every single time a block is verified on that technology. We felt that the young generation who are going to be using this technology will eventually become disillusioned with blockchain because it's so bad for the environment. And as you know, there's huge movements at the moment around making a greener planet and being more conservative with our energy consumption. So we made the decision to not go down the route of blockchain at this time until they find a more sustainable way of actually using that technology. So yeah.
Okay. My question is, do you have any recommendation what kind of AI they can implement to our Aimee to making the startup niche, to start the startup niche?
So I mean, there's loads of off-the-shelf AI that can be used. So our focus is recommendation engines. So how we can use knowledge tracing and matrix factorization to look at data sets and then make recommendations based on that. So if you have things to recommend to your end users, these are really easy to implement AIs that can help personalize the way things are delivered. The other off-the-shelf AI that's used quite frequently is natural language processing. So if you are collecting some sort of text or audio from your users, whether it's a chatbot or some type of online agent that's using natural language processing to process the text or the audio and then respond immediately. Again, these are the really common AIs that can be implemented with not too much cost and not too much training time because they're already off the shelf.
Okay, thank you for your recommendation. Okay. Any question, guys? Any question? Okay, is there any slide again? Okay, let's go.
I mean, this is not a very exciting slide, but just to show you the type of data that we're collecting. So this is actually collecting every interaction that a student is making on our platform. So this is a series of study sessions, and if we go a bit further, you can see that every few seconds we're looking at what the students are doing, where they're pausing, where they're skipping, how long they're spending on certain things. And that's the level of data that we're collecting in order to then make decisions further down the line. Where I think that becomes really interesting is when you start looking at different demographics of users on your platform. So this is something that we looked at in the UK, are students from poor income families against students from non-poor income families. We monitor them in the UK because they're eligible for free school meals. What we found was that they were still learning and progressing at the same rate, and their learning patterns and behaviors were quite similar. What was more interesting is when we looked at students with special educational needs, so dyslexia, dyscalculia, and autism. There are lots of students in UK schools who have special educational needs, and actually they display very different behaviors of learning on our platform. Some were spending much longer on certain types of material, others were skipping through questions really quickly. And so this is a really interesting insight into the way in which children are learning. Finally, you probably won't be surprised that girls and boys learned in very similar ways and progressed. I think girls progress a little bit further than boys on that. But yeah, this is the type of data that AI can produce for you.
what kind of data are you capturing? Are you capturing face expression and things like that, or just what kind of?
Activity in your
Exactly, yeah, mouse movements. So we have a heartbeat every 2 seconds on our platform, and it looks at what the student is doing with their mouse, where they're pausing, where they're skipping, how long they're spending on things. We're not looking at any facial expressions at this moment. I know there's a lot of companies in China that are doing facial expressions as part of engagement tools in classrooms. So you might have heard of a company called Squirrel AI in China. They use cameras to monitor children's facial expressions to see engagement levels. But we haven't gone down that route, mainly because if you tried to do that in the UK, the schools wouldn't let you. It would be considered an invasion of privacy.
You can see, are they happy or are they confused or are they cheating? Are they cheating? You know, because this is assessment,
from
right?
the eyes, yeah.
So you can see from the eyes they are cheating or not, those kind of things, right?
Yeah, you can see all sorts, and from the facial expression, it can pick up the structure of your face and how if it's frowning or if it's very tense, things like that. It's incredible technology that can be used in different ways.
Okay. Any question from Zoom? Okay. Nuke. Okay. Please.
Sorry, masih bisa aku what do you think about recommendation on what platform can increase student motivation based on artificial intelligence? Yeah, maybe we can implementation on my university. Yeah, thank you.
How to motivate students.
How to motivate.
So at university level, there are lots of learning management systems or virtual learning environments that not only deliver content and allow students to submit their work, but also facilitate collaboration and engagement and chat forums. So there's a couple of companies which I really like. One's called FutureLearn, and the other one's called edX. And these two companies deliver what is known as MOOCs, mass online open courses.
Okay, MOOCs.
And they have chat rooms, they try to facilitate meaningful conversations between students when online. And that's shown to help with progression through courses, but also engagement. So I think any platform that tries to have meaningful engagement with is a really good and sustainable way of engaging.
Okay.
How is your product useful to our campus or maybe for our Aimee? Yeah.
Okay, for our
For our Aimee, to build 1,000 digital multi-talent, yeah, is your product in connection with this one, or about our campus, yeah, our campus life, how your product is connecting and useful to our campus?
Sure. So we do work with a few universities and higher education institutions, and they use a white label version of our product. So they put their own color schemes and their logos on, and then they upload their own content onto the system. So you can upload content in what we call nugget form. So it's where you break your content down into very bite-sized chunks of learning. You upload it onto the system, and then the system learns about the best way to deliver that content to students on a recommended path. So if you have content, and if you can break it down into small enough bite-sized chunks of learning, you can upload it onto our platform, and then it will be delivered in a personalized manner to students whilst assessing them and giving data to teachers and tutors.
Okay.
How do you monetize? How do you monetize?
Yeah, we're a SaaS business, so we have annual subscription licenses based on seats, so number of students accessing the product. We only started monetizing 4 years ago because we needed the first 4 years to collect enough data and actually build the product. So we've been monetized for 4 years now in over 1,000 institutions and over 1 million students. So we've grown an awful lot, and we'll continue to grow.
start from maybe free for 100 students or something like that?
Or 2,000
Yeah.
students?
It depends. So we use economies of scale. So we use Amazon Web Servers. Everything's based in the cloud. There's no downloadable apps or software that needs to be installed. It's all a web-based application, and we use economies of scale in a charging structure. So if you are a small institution, it can be around £30 per student per year. 30 British pounds is probably about 200. No, maybe 500,000 per student per year. And then for bigger institutions, that can go right down to £10 per student per year. So very economical, less than £1 a month for students to access the product.
I think we already have question from Zoom.
Oke.
Langsung.
Oh, mau ngomong langsung. Oke.
Amel,
From who?
From who?
Amel.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Everybody
Hello.
there.
Ya, hi Amel.
Hi.
Moment maybe Vio bisa spotlight Amelnya.
Bosan.
Vio, please Amel. Okay. Okay, Amel. What do you have to ask to Mrs. Sarah?
Okay, before I want to introduce myself, let me introduce myself. So my name is Amelia Mutiara Zahrani. You can call me Amelia or Amel. So my question is, what do you do if your business or your company is there something wrong or any problem? How do you solve that problem? So what will we do if we want to learn about artificial intelligence? Because I'm so confused about this topic because before I joined this Zoom, I learned about this material. Thank you. That's it, my question.
Okay, that is the question from Amel. Amel now in Tangerang City. Maybe you want to come to our campus.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you very much for the question.
Thank you, Amel.
Thank you Amel.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. So, firstly, is how can you overcome challenges in your business? Is that the first question?
Yes.
Yes,
And
that
then-
is the question.
And then the second question is about artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Do you want to start? Me? Okay. Well,
Yeah, she asked you.
I'll see you. Okay.
Okay, well the first question is a huge question because our businesses can face many different challenges in their lifetime and different types of challenges based on the stage which they're at. So I'll try and tell you about some of the challenges I've faced and hopefully you can relate to them. So when I first started out in business in 2012, I was living and working in Hong Kong and decided to set up a business which was a brick and mortar language learning center. So we rented a series of properties across Hong Kong. We converted them into learning centers for students to practice English. And it was a great business. We had a good curriculum, we had brilliant teachers, we marketed it really well, and we had lots of clients who loved the service that we offered. But every year, our landlords would look at the profits that we'd make, and then they put our rent up by a similar amount. So 20 to 25% rent would go up each year, and that would wipe out any profits that we'd make as a business. And that was because of a legal thing in Hong Kong. You have to share your accounts openly, even if you're a private company. And so we were never going to grow and do what we wanted to do because we were at the whim of our landlords. And so that was a huge challenge. And it meant that the business probably didn't have many legs to stand on. So that's where we started to look at technology, because of course technology can be scaled without being tied to assets like rentals and landlords. Exactly. So that's when we got into the digital world. Now that comes also with its own challenges when you're a business, and I joined Sentry, this current company, when we were only 12 people. We had some funding, we had an idea, but we didn't have a product. And we've now grown to 120 people and over 1 million students. And so it's lots of challenges on the way. One of the biggest challenges we had was in 2020 when, of course, the pandemic happened. And as a business, we decided, because of our social impact arm, that we would give our products away to everyone in the world for free for that year. So schools around the country, around the world, sorry, used Sentry and our services for free.
But so I think we are late.
Yeah.
We are late or not to
know
get the
about
free,
it.
the free one.
Oh, you want to know the free one?
Yes, of course.
The trade secret, yeah. But the problem with that was that you dry up all of your revenue streams. If you have 100 staff, how do you pay their salaries? How do you pay your overheads if you don't have any revenue? And so that was another huge challenge to overcome, really difficult. So I think the main advice if you're starting a business or if you're going into business is be adaptable and flexible and surround yourself with people who can advise you and who can challenge you on the decisions that you make. And if you've got a good company culture and you're doing things for the right reason, that's a good starting point. It won't mean you survive, but it's a good starting point.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Charles. Okay, guys, be adaptable, okay? Okay, any questions?
While waiting for another question,
Okay.
I just want to add on. We can collaborate more to make our meeting here more meaningful. Meaning that before you go, maybe we can make a short memorandum of understanding. Yeah.
Okay, with Century.
With Century, so that after you go back to London, we still can have meetings and see how we can connect. You see, we in Indonesia not very high technology, but we have a lot of people, 200, 300 millions of people. Yeah. So if we do the right thing, I believe we can do good things together. Yeah. You can connect with us with our campus. That means MOU with campus or MOU with her. She has a company called Alphabet Incubator Indonesia, where we collect people who are highly motivated in doing startup, and we try to work all angles, all possible ways to make this startup successful, and we are happy if you can be part of us,
It's very kind, and I welcome it.
Thank you. Okay.
So any question?
Enough?
Enough? Maybe from Zoom or from YouTube and Instagram?
Okay. Enough?
I think the student want you to come to
come to our campus.
When you go back to London?
Oh, I fly to Thailand this weekend and then
to Thailand.
London next week.
Okay.
But thank you all very much. It's been a real pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Maybe we can take a picture
Take a
together
picture?
first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Salah. Okay. Bapak.
Yeah, for us first.
Iya simpan.
Stop.